Welcome back to a new video. Today we got something special for you. A 1967 F250 Highboy. It's a 4x4, and as you can tell from the plate, we got something a little bit different than a gas motor in there. We got the 7.3 IDI from an '88, and it's got a ZF5 manual transmission. The guy that I bought it from didn't do the swap, but he's had it for a little while and runs good, fires right up, glow plug, everything like that. As you can see, the wires. But I couldn't stay off Marketplace, so I know we're still working on the ZJ. Gonna get that on the trails real soon. I've got tires coming for the WJ. We're gonna put 37s on that. Move the Toyos from the WJ over to the ZJ. And then I've got ball joints and some steering for the ZJ already here. So once those tires come in, we'll be able to knock that out, get on the trails. But I was thinking, I could use a tow vehicle. So got the old Ford here. I'm a Cummins guy from my past. I had a 12 valve 97 manual, which I'll put up right here. I actually had a channel for it. I made one video back in the day. I love that truck though. So this kind of brought me back, kind of redeemed myself for selling that. But let's go ahead and show you around. Okay, so looking from the side, it looks pretty clean. There is some rust through. So the worst part of it is right here on the door, and then this cab corner is pretty bad in there. Pretty much all the way through, obviously. Dents and scrapes, rust through. Get the front fender rusted through a little bit. Frame looks real clean. It's pretty clean overall. Leaves are flat. Dude put new tires on it, new batteries, 2 new batteries. And then under the hood, you got the 7.3 IDI from an '88. Double batteries. So that's just an air filter on top. And pretty clean overall. The belts do have some wear on them. We got some gaps missing pretty bad, but I've got brand new ones in the toolbox he gave me, so throw those on there. And all the lights work, fires right up, looks pretty good. Not as much rust through over here. Looks like they might have tried to patch something right there. This cab corner is completely fine. Underneath is pretty good. I didn't see a whole lot. The bed's pretty thin. I mean, you can see the holes obviously right there. There's also a lot of drilled holes. And there's our divorce transfer case. So we got a drive shaft coming straight from the transmission to the transfer case, down to the front axle, and then the back one going back to the rear axle. The front one's actually looks longer than the back one, which is kind of crazy. And then also, while we're underneath, the axles are crazy too. I forgot they're called, but it's the exact same as the Hilux. I'm sure they're bigger, obviously, but the ball on the end, I've never actually seen that in person. And it does have power steering. That's pretty much the main thing that leaks on in this thing. It's power steering conversion, which is really easy to turn the tires. These are 33s. But those axles are crazy. So that's pretty cool. Underneath looks pretty clean. Most of the dripping under here is from that power steering pump. So probably just swap that out. And then check out the inside. Left me with a little hula girl up there. Asked him if he wanted it. He said, "No, I can hold on to it." So keep that thing on here. There's some headliner. You got these this mat down. If you look underneath though, it's not, from what I remember, it wasn't really rusted through. So pretty confident about that. We obviously have this hole here. There's that ZF5 manual, transfer case, 3 pedals. And you got the heat box, which works. So you just pull this out, got your heat, temp, Little glove box. This RPM gauge doesn't work. Missing the radio. Dash is cracked. Defrost works though. The bench is in pretty good condition, and then we have a rust through right here. It's pretty much that whole cab corner. Pretty messed up. Gas tank behind the seats, brand new. And window seals are pretty good. It's got the tow mirrors on here. All the windows are in good condition. So yeah, the gas tank, we're gonna have to get the little thing that holds that, but this side's all good on the cab. None of the gauges worked. The fuel gauge was working, but then the blinkers weren't, so I ended up messing with some of that wiring, and I got the blinkers to work, but the fuel gauge is not. So there's a lot of connections missing and kind of just barely hung up, so I'm sure that's what it is. Temp gauge works, but I would like to get EGT gauge because I don't know how hot this thing is. It's definitely turned up. Here's the glow plug. So that's the glow plug right there. And wheels are in decent shape. Tailgate's probably the worst. But all this stuff you can find pretty cheap. And yeah, it's pretty good looking for what it is. You got some thin spots on the floor, but gave me a brand new toolbox too. So, you know, I get obviously missing speakers and everything like that. You couldn't hear any music though if you tried. So I'll go ahead and show you how good this thing fires up. I obviously drove it here, so pretty far drive. You don't even need the glow plug unless it's in the morning, but make sure I'm not in gear. And just fires right up. Got your lights right here, you can pull them out, and that's how I activate my blinkers. Just my parking lights, and then the headlights. You got your high beams on the floor, which show up in the dash. Put those in. Wipers work. This electric fan he's got hooked up. You got a trailer brake controller. But yeah, man, she sounds real good.
So as you can see, it runs good, it runs straight. I mean, it's less sway than my WJ even. A little bit of loose steering, but it runs great. This fourth gear right there, it's got 5. The clutch let out is like all the way back here, so I'm 5'9". I've got a buddy that's been driving it, and he's 6'3". He's a little crammed, his knees sticking out here, but still kind of makes it work. But third gear, I mean, that's like half throttle. So, you got a temp gauge. I really, really want to get the EGT gauge because I know it's turned up. It's too quick to not be turned up stock. But I just started second like I did in my Cummins. First gear barely gets you through the intersection. No speedometer, of course. Fuel gauge was working, but not right now. But yeah, the temp gauge, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's turned up. It smokes a little bit, and it's pretty quick. So being non-turbo, from what I've read, it shouldn't be a big deal. But it shouldn't be getting above 1200. It's more like turbo numbers, so, but it'd be nice to know because it's definitely turned up and definitely smokes. And I don't know, I'd like to not have to buy a new engine right away. So It's fun though. Gotta pull my parking lights out, my blinkers to work. It's fine. Brakes aren't great, they're all hubs. So I drum brakes. So I pretty much just use the gears to slow me down. Seems like a good truck though. On the body, we've got 550,000 miles before it stopped working. I mean, practically one finger turning. Second gear. I'll ride along. Got my little hula girl. About 100 degrees today, so our temps are just a little bit past half. If this is anywhere close to being kind of right. It's been cooler the last few days until today, so it was sitting right in the middle pretty much the whole time, which I think is probably correct. But today when I was driving out to the shop, it did get a tiny bit hot at idle. The fan's not really working, so I got to rewire that. It might help a little bit. Also, just stupid hot here. Anything on this corner. The let-off's way back here. Really nice that it has all these, vented windows. It's got no AC, obviously. It's got the heat. It's got a fan. But even down here in my footwell, it's got vents that you can open and close to throw air in here. So that definitely helps with the heat. It really doesn't make it that bad. One part that really gets sweaty is my back, but at least it's not leather too, because WJ seats are leather and I got AC in there and I still sweat through those. But I'm pretty excited for it. Hope you guys are too. I'm gonna be basically redoing the whole thing, so I'm looking forward to that. It's pretty easy to get the cab corners and the fenders on it from any website, so be doing some stitch welding, kind of doing all that. I probably won't do an official paint job for a little while. I will, I think I'm gonna do some thin bed liner, so some fine spray bed liner and tinted, maybe do like a light blue or kind of like this blue that's on right now. But I'm gonna be working on this some. I'll be driving it pretty much every day with my WJ. We got a lot of Jeep stuff coming, guys. We gotta work on the ZJ. That'll be getting done here pretty soon. Taking that on the trails for the first time. We'll take the ZJ and the WJ out together. Let my girlfriend drive one of them, and we'll do some camping videos as it gets cooler. But I'm really hoping now that it's August that we're gonna have. Be able to get some stuff done, and I don't have any weddings for work until the end of the month. So thanks for watching the video. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you want to see, and I'll see you in the next one.